But
I didn't expect that to make you laugh.
Where was this?
Mr. Worldwide. What did I say about the last section when you're on the pod? Yeah. Welcome back to the capsule. And that's the energy that we're starting off with. Let's go. What's up, everybody? My name is Luke. I'm the host of the capsule, in case you didn't know. If this is your first time here, welcome. I have my friend with me. You want to introduce yourself, baby boy?
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Abe. Hi.
Abe to the Abe.
No, it's just Abe. Hi, guys.
And we've got an off-camera guest for once. You want to tell him who you is?
Tell him who you is.
That is Jenny Lou.
It's Parks.
Hey. And I'm wearing pajamas, which is why I'm not on screen.
We got Jenny Lou off camera. We got Abe on camera. We got Luke on camera.
Yeah.
We got... That's it.
That's all we got on camera.
All right, guys. On a serious note, we got a lot of stuff to get through.
Fucking hell. Let's do it.
We got a lot of fucking opinions to give.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
SpaghettiOs.
Lead us. Oh, great leader.
Oh, here we go. So first thing is the Red Bull event. What do you know about this event?
I know that I couldn't go.
What do you know about this event?
I know that...
Pull the mic closer to you, Parks.
Shit.
You need to have it about this far away from your face.
Oh, I heard about it on this podcast.
Did you?
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
turn it.
Well,
Yeah, there we go.
okay.
Heard about it on the podcast, but yeah, that's all
And
we
then
know.
I saw little clips of it on the capsule.
Oh, yeah, I did see some of the
plug.
clips. Yeah, the
Plug
capsule
it.
clips. I saw the capsule clips,
Did you
y'all.
say the Papsule clips?
I said capsule. I definitely didn't say papsules. You can watch the tapes back. Check that out.
We're going to watch it back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where to begin? So
How was
it's pretty much all on me, isn't it? So the Red Bull event was Beatmakers. If you didn't know and you didn't watch last week's, you don't have to go back.
I would recommend it.
Yeah.
It was a funny episode last week, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
So the concept was that there was an event at the Red Bull space. It wasn't an official Red Bull event. It was run by the team at the Red Bull Arches. It was producers and beat makers who were paired up to do a competition. So did I say producers and beat makers? I mean, cool. I meant dancers and beat makers. Dancers. So then basically what happened was there was 4 producers and there was, I think, 10 invited dancers. They did a prelim. The judges were one dancer who was Joelle and a producer who I don't know. They did their rounds for, I think it was like 25 minutes or so, and then they picked the top 4. That 4 was paired up with a producer each. And then they just did a semis and a finals. Omni won.
Easy. Give it to my boy Omni, you know?
Do the clapping.
Oh, yeah.
No, that goes on
top
way
right.
too long.
No,
it goes on way too long.
No, the clapping's fine. It's the laughing that goes on too long.
Oh, which one's clapping?
One of these, I think. Oh, I don't
Here
know.
we go.
Here we go.
Omni,
Russian roulette.
Omni.
Well done to Omni.
Well done, Omni.
It worked. It's the yellow one.
And who was the producer?
It was a woman called Gnarly Beats, who is actually the partner of Hobbit. Remember Hobbit?
Oh, yeah.
Beatboxer.
Well done.
Yeah.
From the
Gnarly
movie.
Beats. Jenny's here, y'all.
You gotta say it. If you're gonna say it, you gotta say it.
Said Hobbit from the movie.
Jenny's here, y'all.
Way!
Yeah, that's my
Where's the
slime.
wow?
No, that gets a clap. That's my slime right there.
Whose side are you on?
The Hobbit side. I ain't seen that movie.
So, Gnarly Beats and Omni won. So here's my take on the Red Bull event. I think it was a decent idea, a decent attempt. It was the first time of them doing it, something like that. It was kind of, I mean, we announced it last week. That was the event we were talking about last week on the Monday, and then it was on the Friday. So it was a bit last minute for that. So I think attendance could have been bigger if they had started
more time.
Yeah, and started putting it out earlier.
Yeah.
I think The dancers were, you know, it's like a lot of the dancers that were there were sick. Like Camille was there, Ice, Omni, Jesse, like all people that are sick and can react and play with tracks and stuff and understand music and perform. And so it's all good on that side. I think the thing with the producers was they were all sick, but I think the Gnarly Beats lady was like, I think her Insta thing is like finger drummer or whatever. So she does all the like...
So she was in her zone.
She
Yeah,
was
and
playing like
well, they were all playing live. This is the thing. Right. So they were making beats live, and they were all sick. But where you had like some of the guys who were maybe taking a bit longer to create stuff, right. And like they were the way they were building the track, right? So like there was one guy that would like he would start with maybe some like I don't know like a kind of chords or something, and then he was like playing the guitar live over it and stuff, and it was sick. But in terms of like, because the way they did it was like you have 2 minutes and you can use that 2 minutes however you want, so the producer could do for a minute and then the dancer could join in, the dancer could start straight away. But what the other dancers, the other producers, their beats I think took a long time to build, and it doesn't really give the dancer a lot to play off if for like 4/8 it's dum dum dum. It's like that for like
I wonder if the dancer like went out. It's like it's your pre-selection turn now. All right, man, it's my turn. Let's go. You ready? Dum dum dum. Yo, this one's fucking shit, man. Dum. Can I have a different producer, y'all? Hey, you fucking me up right now, homie. It's me and you. Sorry, carry on.
No, but this is the thing. Like, so as much as I don't think any of the producers were shit, like the music they were making was good, but in a dance context, yes, like
and also in a battle context of like
that's what
it's not about. Just about listening to a track, it's about like a performance.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if this was something where I reckon if you had a setup like you know, like I Love This Dance, like on a stage kind of thing, and you maybe give them even 3 minutes and they can take real time, and it's like you have a dancer that has a stage and everyone's sitting and watching them interpret this beat, you can get in a bit more of your like artsy bag. This was very like battle underground vibes. So when this lady Gnarly Beats came, she's immediately like and it's like someone like Omni or whoever can come out and like whoever was paired with her, I think would have, not that that's the only reason why Omni won, he's obviously good. Shut up. But I think this definitely helped him where, you know, he had a beat to play off while she was adding other bits or playing around, you know. And I think if I was speaking to the producers before or for the next time, I would say you've got to start with something that the dancers can like hinge their movement on. So even if it's a bit of a stronger, like even if it's not a drum, like drums would be great.
Make some bold choices.
Yeah, and just go for something that's like has a bit of rhythm to it and has a bit of like even like a
strong start.
Yeah, like a bass line or drums or something, and then build on that so you can play around while the dancer starts to get the crowd on their side. Because at the end of the day, as much as it's producer and dancer, you've got the dance is the one on the stage that we're all looking at. Even if the producer was there with them, it wasn't. They're not on the stage, you know.
Do you reckon that might have changed it if the producers were a bit more in the focal point as well?
Well, they did pretty well. Did you see on the clip like how like they kind of set it up so they were like on the floor with them?
Yeah, no, I saw, but it did still seem, because they had like the decks in front of them, like they're in the back, so it's like you are on the stage, but it's also like there's 5 people behind the.
But how do you even do that? Like to get them on the same? You'd have to like. Have you seen the beat?
Have to bring it to the middle, a bit like how like Mofat did it in the middle of the circle and stuff like that,
where it becomes more part of the performance.
Yeah, so they're literally on the floor with them. Maybe. Have you seen the beat dance contest in Paris?
No,
they have a kind of similar setup.
I had something else going on in my head.
I'm gonna try and find a picture of it or something. But
don't worry about it. It's all right, don't ask.
Don't ask.
Have you seen it? No.
This thing happens in my brain where like I want to like say stuff and say references. I'm like, this isn't your podcast, man. Just shut up and just answer the question.
We are finding the link, so that means we gotta sing with me, guys.
Hey, Silk Boogie, I know you don't like it when we get a little boogie and we do a little sing song.
Okay, so this is the beat dance contest. I'm gonna put this on the screen, but you see, like, this is a similar concept.
Oh yeah, I think I have seen that. I heard the tracks on SoundCloud at least, but I haven't seen the videos of it.
Yeah, so that they have the producer here. I think this is the producer behind him. Yeah, so he's there making the beat live as well. It's a similar concept. I may have skipped through when I did this.
Ça laisse entrevoir quelque chose d'incroyable.
Do you have the baby powder?
That's a reference to the other episodes if you didn't listen.
Go watch it.
But so this is a version that they do in, I want to say Paris.
There's something about West Coast mini moog synths that just make you want to fart on a beat. Like, hey, dude, what's he doing?
Oh, okay. Well, this is Gonzi and B-Rock, and the dancers are Zico and Tagada. So this is B-Rock. We'll give it until it drops, seeing as we probably won't get taken down for copyright with this.
Unless it takes 2 minutes.
Merci.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. So I think what happens is, we'll cut that off now. I think what happens with that one is that the producers like show the beat, and then the other one shows the beat, and then the dancers dance to it, and then the dancers dance to it.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're just showing a little clip. So the way they did it in this one, yeah, I mean that would have been maybe nice in this one as a little thing.
But then they
to give
already
them
had the beat ready. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
think
this
well,
one
as
they
a
didn't have the
producer,
beat
when
ready.
you're like trying to play live, like certain producers are like really good at doing live stuff.
Yeah.
Like who's the one that won?
Gnarly Beats.
Gnarly Beats. But then some producers are like
Gnarly Music.
Gnarly
Sorry.
Music. We fucked that up. Sorry, Gnarly
Sorry,
Music.
Gnarly Music.
Or some other producers are like, yeah, all right, I'll play this one thing and then
Yeah.
I'll go away and I'll come back half an hour later.
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
I guess it would be like dancers that some of them come ready with a bunch of sets, a bunch
Yeah.
of things planned.
But
and then
But you're more used to, sorry to cut you off, you're more used to as a dancer, even if you don't come with things planned, you're used to just freestyling on the spot.
yeah. But I don't know if producers are. Anyways, I don't know much about producing. So
Not all of them are like that.
What, being able to, I mean, I think,
like to come up with 100%.
Yeah.
And you haven't thought about just come up with it now versus have an idea of a melody or
Yeah.
have an idea of a beat and come,
Yeah.
especially with. If
I
you
would
know-
imagine that they have some
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
idea.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, well then the other two that weren't Gnarly Beats or the other person just didn't
Sorry.
execute as well.
No, I mean, they were good. Like I said, they were all good. I think it's purely about the structure of it.
Okay.
Like,
So going forward, how would you do it next time? If you could
If you
execute
did, if you
it,
were
yeah.
in
If you
charge.
did it, if it was the Capsule, X
you.
Red Bull, X Beatmaker X dance.
I think I would do something similar. I just think I would maybe like have a bit more prep with the producers about how dancers structure their rounds, and
Okay.
because like with DJs, like battle DJs and stuff, they understand. Say with
The
break,
flow and
yeah,
stuff,
like
yeah.
breaking DJs, right? You know that most like poppers and top stylers don't tend to do this, but breakers, when you finished your round, even if it's like, you know, we both did one round and then it's the second round now, if I know the song's going to change, I'm still, as soon as you're done, I still jump in and go, and the song will tend to change in a breaking song
Yeah.
while I've started my
Yeah.
round. So they keep the flow going, and they don't, in the second round, they often don't play tracks with an intro
Yeah.
because they know like the
You're in
breaker
middle, they
may
just
have,
go to the break beat, yeah.
exactly. So you understand these things about battle, so you can play for that. I think that was maybe something that the producers didn't know or didn't get prepped on, is like how dancers battle and how they structure their rounds. And I think that's that's the main thing I would do next time, is like either choose producers that are in the dancing. Like I don't know about people like Lotus
Yeah.
or Kiddo or people like that, because it's also a skill set to be able to produce live. Like, you know,
Yeah,
some people
yeah.
don't, some people are choreographers, not
Yeah.
freestylers in beat making world. But I think if they didn't want to do it or whatever, I would have the same producers, but I would sit them down and, you know, try to do a prep day with them,
Yeah, yeah.
and make them watch battles and understand how dance, and just have someone explain the structure of how dancers create. Or, you know, best case scenario is use producers that know dancers.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you had someone with Kiddo or Lotus's understanding of dance, and again, I'm kind of speaking for them that they don't do that, but I've just never seen them do that. They might be sick at it. If so, get them. But if you've got someone like that who can also make beats for dancers and do it live, and they understand the dynamics of a battle, like that's going to be
make it
fire.
brilliant. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And especially if they can connect with what the dancer's doing, and like imagine,
Respond.
yeah, like imagine they know like a move that Ice is going to do, and as he does it, they like go do 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 do. Like that's going to be a fire battle. So I think that's the only thing it was missing. I mean, it felt like they were trying something new, which is fine.
Did it also feel rushed? It sounds it.
No, the actual event didn't, I have to say. The promo did. The promo felt like last minute, and a lot of people, especially because we spoke about it, a lot of people asking me questions that I didn't have the answers to. I didn't really have anywhere to send them to.
Yeah.
So the promo of it felt rushed, and like in terms of the attendance, I think that could have been a lot. It was a Friday night, like it could have been a lot more packed. Free bar. on a Friday night. You know, like I
Yeah,
think a lot of
100%.
people would have come.
People would have came down just for that shit.
Just for the free bar.
I think they're in a way they're lucky that we have a really good level of dancers across the board, because it's like kind of no matter who they invited, you're going to get a decent level. So not no matter who, but do you know what I mean? Like there's a wide range of good dancers now to pick from, and I just think the promo and the attendance could have been bigger. But actually, when they were running the event, once it started, I was like, oh yeah, this is going. Like Clara hosted, so she knew how to keep it going. There was some like not technical difficulties, but like in between, obviously, like one of the guys had like a laptop and he was producing on. The other guy had like it was actually pretty cool, like an iPad and a mic, so he was like doing like vocal loops, and then and like using the iPad to like turn it up and down and like change the effects on it and stuff. So and then say the other guy had like guitars and blah blah. So in between each battle,
setting it up,
they kind of had to take a few minutes, which I don't think was a huge deal. They put like do you know, I don't know if you know Glade Marie. She was
the DJ.
she's a DJ, super sick, and like
the DJ.
She thanks Jim. She was spinning, and she's actually sick because I was next to her because I was filming.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like she wasn't asked to start. She wasn't asked to start playing, but like
she just did it.
As soon as there was like the tech guy went over to talk to the producer and they started doing stuff, she just jumped on and played something, and everyone starts dancing, and it's like she not like she knew what she was doing. Like that's her job, you know, is to spin. But she did a really good job, and every time they were like, you know, there was a break, she threw music on and people were having a good time. They went and got another drink, so it didn't really interrupt it too much.
Yeah. But if that didn't happen, people would have noticed the downtime.
Yeah, I think if she just sat there and waited, you know, and didn't do anything, and there was this technical difference, and because Clara kind of said, "Hey, everyone, grab a drink," you know, blah blah. We're going to take a few. If Clara and Glade didn't do what they do,
magic.
then it would have been a
That's
bit.
the kind of people you want. The people that just know when to jump on. You know, they don't need to get told. They just like, whoop, there's my time.
That's my cue.
Exactement, you know.
Exactement.
They've got that je ne sais
Quoi.
quoi. Say it with your tongue. All right. That's pretty much that. I don't really have any more thoughts on the Red Bull thing. It was decent. I think they should keep doing it. I think it needs to be advertised earlier, obviously, to get more people. I think I'm all for people trying new stuff. And if you have a space in central London, like try all the shit you want to do.
do that, man. Yeah, man.
Do it.
And a free bar, we will never complain about.
Just
Got kind of tipsy while I was filming.
Got kind of tipsy whilst he was filming.
Got kind of tipsy. I can't do this back to back with him because it makes me look like a shit singer.
Come on, man.
because he's good.
I am a shit singer.
Come
that's
on.
why.
Yeah, come on. But you've got a beautiful face.
You've got a beautiful face.
Hey.
Men.
I feel left out.
You
don't get to be in it because you're out.
Yeah.
You're not in the video.
You could have sat right here. Actually, no, you would have been here. I would have been here.
Yeah, but I still
You have a beautiful face. Yeah, you do.
Agreed.
All right, fine.
Okay.
Give it up one time for your face.
Give it up for the faces of the Capsule pod this
All right,
week.
what else we got?
Yeah.
We got the Red Bull ting. We got, all right, let's just talk about it.
Let's talk about
Let's talk about the, obviously, Ivan Blackstock had his show at 180 The Strand. So what I really want you guys both opinions on is Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
Keep my wife's name.
Out your fucking.
Listen.
Yo, we don't swear on this podcast.
We don't
actually.
swear on this.
We don't swear on this podcast.
We don't swear on this podcast.
Do you know what I mean?
Excuse me. What the fuck is she doing?
Do you know what I mean?
Fucking swear on this fucking podcast, man.
Sake.
Fucking
Can you get
hell.
it together first time on and she wants to just fuck it
hell,
up?
just
Jesus
fucking.
Christ.
You fucking invited her.
There's like kids out there listening to this with their parents like, Mum, this will tell us all about the dance scene.
Go to bed, you fucking kids. Yeah. Ivan's
No,
show.
I really want to know about Chris Rock.
Oh, Chris Rock and thing. I don't want to talk about it because everyone's talking about it.
No, you know what? The Oscars actually put out a statement today.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that?
No. What's
You
this?
didn't see it?
What is it?
It was on Twitter. They put out a statement saying that
Keep
the
Jada's
they said that the situation's been resolved between Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Yeah.
And they said it's mainly due to people from the dance scene having an opinion about it.
Oh
That it
yeah.
was solved, yeah. So like it was actually, they said if everyone hadn't made an Insta story about it, then it wouldn't have got solved.
So thank you for everyone talking about it. Yeah.
No, yeah, it was actually vital to to solving this problem.
To the resolution of this conflict.
Yeah, no, it's
like with every conflict.
Yeah,
with every, to be honest, every conflict it needs that, and you know,
who cares about Ukraine? Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
It's gracious of the Oscars to really like recognize the dancing in this way.
Yeah, I'll tell you what is funny. Just quickly before we move on, people whose business
people trying to speak.
Can we give it one time for that sentence?
I'm gonna go again. People,
Do you remember when
I feel like you were at the producer battle.
It was I have a dream that in my dream I was.
Did you ever have a dream? Yeah, no, I went back in time. It's cool. Well, let's move on. People's whose opinion no one cares about. Talking about it, I don't know if this is real, but I saw OJ Simpson said he shouldn't have slapped. He shouldn't have slapped him. I was like, bruv,
I saw that,
bruv.
Yo, did you hear when OJ was like, "Oh, did you watch the documentary?"
Which documentary? No.
It's fucking funny. It's not funny. It's not a comedy. I found it funny.
Wow.
No, but he said like, "Oh, I get scared to go to LA because at any moment I could be sitting next to the killer." It's like, bruh, you want to kill?
OJ didn't really do it.
That's the hot take.
Yeah. So, Traplord.
Tell me about it.
Have you seen Traplord?
No.
So Jen hasn't seen Traplord.
What are we doing? Are we doing spoilers?
I think let's try to do spoiler free.
Spoiler free.
Because people, like, you know, it's about to run for another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we want people, like, you know, to tell them if they're going to go see it, what to prepare for.
If you haven't seen it, I would see it. This is tough for me because, like, with spoilers, like, I go spoiler free stuff. I'm like the biggest spoiler free nerd ever. Like, I don't want to set any expectation because that's technically spoiling it. I just burped. Sorry.
That's right. I mean, you could have moved the mic, but you moved your entire head. I don't think we need to go like completely. Like, we can set expectations, you know, but just that people still want to see it.
Keep it vague.
For me,
overall,
I think Ivan. That show is the amalgamation of like if Donald Glover, Travis Scott, and Skepta had a baby.
It would be Ivan.
It would be Traplord.
Oh, no!
Or possibly,
the baby would just come out as a show.
Yeah. Would you know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah. Say it again. Donald Glover,
Travis Scott, and Skepta.
Yeah. I see what. Yeah, like, and I think I think that speaks to Ivan having a really strong aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the stuff he does and puts out, even from his like Instagram to like the shows that he puts on to his free, even the way he dresses or anything
crafted.
Yeah, it's a, I don't know, how crafted or if it comes naturally or what his, but his brand is that.
Yeah,
you know? It's very London. It's very like, without being cliche, like unapologetically black, and that type of like, I come from this type of upbringing and neighborhood, and it's this kind of like and this I'm half speaking about Traplord and half speaking about Ivan's aesthetic, but it's like he turning this the situation I was born into and who I am into something cool and recognizable and thing that I'm gonna make it so that you want to be me. You know what I mean?
I think the staging was amazing. They
agreed.
Must have had a sick budget for this. The staging was really good. The lights were good. The whole setup was good. They used the setup with the piece as well. The performance was amazing. The performances were amazing. Everyone was just at the highest of levels that was performing there, including the lighting engineer and all of that stuff. I don't know if that's the correct
I've
term,
got a cast list.
Lighting designer. Yeah, it is lighting designer, isn't it? I've got a cast list.
My name is Luke.
I'm a Capsule.
But okay, I have a question for
Go.
you.
Because you haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't.
The lighting designer is, there you go, Abe.
The lighting designer is it because it's like a black name and you don't know how to pronounce it? Where is it?
No.
Lighting designer.
That would be
Simi Sola.
Oh.
Majeko.
That's a hard one.
Dunmi.
That's a hard one.
Maybe Majeko Dunmi.
That's it.
But it's Simi Sola.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, okay.
You're fucking.
I knew that
you're
part.
wavy. Oh yeah. Hey, the lighting designer is it's too black for me. Here we go. I'm not getting slapped today.
A round of applause.
Yeah, I think you did well. Magica done me. Yeah, it smashed it. Really good. The lighting was really good. I think.
Yeah, man.
And the set design.
Yeah, set design was banging. What was your question,
Who did
Jen?
the set design?
Oh bloody hell! Come on, give it here.
No, I can read.
It's probably someone black.
No,
Come on.
It doesn't have set design.
Oh.
It says co-designers, sound design, video design, costume design.
Okay, so there's video.
Yeah. So there's the thing I will say about that.
Spoiler alert!
You are little Sherlock Holmes. Well done, you.
The thing I'll say about that is that there is a lot of different elements in it, right? So you've got
multimedia vibes.
Yeah, you've got dance, obviously. You've got spoken word. You got music, so like rapping and actually singing as well. So there's the two people that do music, I guess, is
the spoken word.
Yeah, the spoken word guy. I want to say Magero.
Yeah,
Magero.
He did it for you.
He was really good. And then there's another guy called Underwater Cash. This is his artist name. Those two mainly did like spoken word and rap. Warren did a bit of rap as well, and I think Kyron did a bit of rap.
Like a little grime set.
In the grime, yeah, but like the kind of more extended like spoken word and rap pieces. I thought, and you know my feelings on spoken word in theatre pieces.
Yes.
And
because I shared those feelings.
I usually hate them. It was fire. Like, first of all, I think if you're going to include different elements of stuff in your piece, you got to be good at that stuff for it to, like, because there's a lot of dancers that be like, oh, well, I'm just going to act this part of the thing. And it's like, you've never acted in your life. Just because you can dance doesn't mean, like, and you're going to, if you're a good dancer, the level just drops while
Romeo!
you act. Yeah.
Where art thou? Sorry, go.
But not far off.
That was good, by the way.
And it's like, okay, so if you're going to include, like, even with, like, I see it with, like, videography in a way, like, oh, this part's going to be on a projector and it's going to be filmed, and it's like, yeah, but you don't know anything about filming, and you clearly didn't, you know what I mean? You didn't consult anyone.
Didn't think this through.
Yeah, and I think, so this is the thing, obviously, like, Ivan's not a new artist, so this isn't, you know, like a...
Surprise.
It's not a surprise, and it's not something, it's not the first time he's ever thought like, hey, I'm going to throw different elements in my work. But so with these guys that he got, it's like the spoken word was fire. And I think, tell me if you agree or disagree, but like spoken word was fire, and the rap and the music was fire, and the way, like the songs and everything, it was actually good. Like it was like concert elements, you know. But I think even more than that is their performance was sick. Because what I've seen before is... let's say a spoken word person working with a dancer, and it's like the dancer's like emoting and moving gracefully, and then the spoken word kind of just like stares, blah 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 blah, and then walks off, you know. And it's like it just, they can't really perform, but it's like the level of the performance from the spoken word guy and the rapper was like at the same level as the dancers, just in a different medium. So they were like doing the spoken word, but like it was part of the show because they were acting it out and they were like interacting with people. They were, you know, they had emotion with what they were doing, and beyond just
like being the soundtrack of, no, I mean, besides like the spoken words sometimes almost being like the soundtrack, like they're acting like they're not a performer.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know? So it's kind of, oh yeah, I'm just the sound, but you can all see me.
Yeah,
or because I can do spoken word, I don't have to perform because you're listening, not watching.
Yeah.
But it's like they were like
they went
physically acting,
bruv. Listen,
Which is what it should be like.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
Like I went with my brethren Gavin, who's like big on theatre. Like he goes to all the theatre shows. He basically, like, his art acting backgrounds are like different. Like
so
grew
he's
up
a
on theatre
theatre
and
guy.
I grew up on TV. Not saying that he hasn't done TV and film, but anyway, I digress. We went to it and it started, and I was like, as an actor, like I'm looking at it through a different lens than maybe.
That's what I also want to hear from you, is like the actor perspective on this show.
Yeah, well, this is why I thought the show was so flipping gas, because I went into it and at the beginning I was like, I had the actor lens and they were doing different performances, but because they were performing it at such a high level, I kind of was like, okay, I buy into it. I accept that this is what you're doing. You've not taken me out of the show. I'm here. Okay, carry on. They throw a different form of art at me.
You mean because it's mixed, it could have like lost you?
Because it's because it's mixed. Like when I saw them start out the way it started out, I was like, okay, this like, I'm like, what is this show going to be? I have no idea what this show is going to be. Where are you taking us? They started like that, and I'm like, okay, bold choice. Maybe it's going to be a bit of this. Then they switch gears, and I'm like, okay. Then they switch gears, but every time they switch gears, obviously you can tell they've switched gears and they're choosing something else. So there's almost like an element of like, are you good at this? Is this of a level? Or are you going to Romeo? Are you going to do that? Is it going to drop? It never did Romeo. So I was like, okay, all right, you're taking me someplace. And then at some point, I don't know when it was,
They hooked you.
I stopped thinking about it. I was just there watching the show. Like, this is flipping. Like,
That's
me
the
and Gavin, like, we were watching it, and like, there were multiple times during the show where I just looked at Gavin like, and he looked at me like, what the flipping hell?
And you forget that you're watching a show.
I mean,
you're just in it.
I'm just in it to win it. It was Jenny, you have to go see the show, man.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
going
she's going Sunday.
twice.
Oh yeah? Yeah, I might go see it multiple times. I reckon, like, especially tonight's press night, I reckon...
It'll be yesterday when this comes out, but yeah.
Yeah. I reckon when the word gets out about this show, you won't be able to get multiple tickets.
Woo!
You won't be able to see it twice. It'll be just sold out.
Woo!
Hell.
Yeah, I think...
5 star, 5 star, 5 star.
5 star.
So, yeah,
Top
I think
five, top
on
five.
what you were saying about the it changing gear a lot,
Yeah.
I thought you can see that as like a negative
Thing. Yeah.
I think it, in a way, it kind of has chaotic vibes,
Yeah.
which can be a choice,
Yeah.
may have been a choice,
Yeah.
also may not have been a choice.
Yeah.
It's very sectiony, it's very bitty. It's almost like a sketch show. You know, like how like Dave Chappelle, like the Chappelle show or something, where it's like little sketches.
It's like tableaus.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, well, it's like different pieces.
Stitched together.
Yeah.
And I think there was an overall, you know, a theme. I don't know that there was, like, put it this way. If I had gone in there before and rearranged the running order of all those pieces, do you think you would have known? Or do you think you would have gone, oh, this feels odd, if you hadn't seen the show?
I think it's different because for me, like what Ivan's talking about, like, is very close to home.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I almost had like a bias, like he's talking about certain stuff that I'm like, oh, I've not considered that, or at least seen that expressed on stage.
Yeah.
So I could have been lost in the sauce in that sort of way. Do you see what I mean?
No.
So like, I'm like, you're saying like it was very sectiony, which yes, I agree.
No, sorry. Yes, like I think we both agree that there was like a lot of different sections. I'm saying in terms of there being
An arc.
an order.
Arc. Yeah, no, I think there was an arc. No, I think there was an arc. Yeah, I do. But again, I don't know if that's me just being like, he's talking about something that I can relate to. So shut up, you. I'm biased. But
no. I think you're right.
there was an arc. I do think there was an arc.
But
I would say maybe more energetically and feeling wise, as
Maybe
opposed to
that,
like,
yes.
oh, now
Narrative.
the guy has done this and now
Yeah.
he's going over. You know, it's more like, okay, yes, energetically, like the last pieces felt like the last pieces. Some of the beginning pieces felt like the beginning, like in terms of energy. But I think just in terms of what was happening, I feel like to some extent you could rearrange them and it
The story.
It wouldn't be like, oh, who's this character? It's like it kind of would have been.
Yeah, but again, like, I don't know. Like, I think the chaoticness and the scrambliness of that is, for how I saw it, my perspective, I think that was intentional.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because I think that is the
energy.
what he's, and I don't want to ruin it, but the concept of what he's talking about is that it is quite chaotic and
no. Yeah. Okay. For that. Yes. And that, yeah, I definitely agree. And I think that if that, and I don't even see it as a necessarily a negative thing in what, even what I'm saying, like if it was, if you could rearrange them, I don't even see that as a negative thing. Like what I was thinking actually during the show, especially because 180 is like an exhibition space, right? And we went to see, did you see the last, what was that light exhibition one?
Yeah, no, I didn't go.
Lux?
This is the first time I've ever been to 180.
They had a thing called Lux, and basically it was like different light exhibitions.
Yeah.
And you kind of did it like a normal exhibition. You did a little tour of the space, and in each little thing had a little...
I'm listening.
she's like, I could eat some chocolate. Had like different little, not rooms, but like almost sectioned off places where there was different exhibitions by different artists, right?
Yeah.
I would have actually really liked to see Traplord as an exhibition and have... I know, but...
Talk to me. No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
But like, it's like a almost... I I would have liked to see it in the format where, not instead, I just think it could also work in this way, where you walk around the space and it's almost like you go as a group and it's like it's still a performance, but you, that helping? No. It's still a performance, but you, as you walk past, like it's kind of an immersive thing. So like you walk past the first and they're in the room and you look in and they're doing that first piece. And then like when you kind of stand and watch, and then as it finishes, they like sneak off and then you keep walking and then the next piece is in the next room. And like, you know, when there's the different screens and stuff.
That could have been that could be very,
and like you could split the cast and have them rotate so they can be in each one and different characters. Because imagine some of those scenes, you know, like I don't want to ruin too much as well, but like some of the different scenes, if they were already set when you got there.
No, 100%.
And like the characters just there waiting for you around the corner, like as you come, and then they start.
That's a very interesting take. I don't know if I would have preferred that, but that certainly would have had a different je ne sais quoi to it.
Yeah. Because also the section-y feeling of it would have made, that's what it made me think of, is like, oh, we finish one section, walk to the next section, watch that.
I do also think like the chaoticness is why, and sectioniness is why I'm like, it has like a Travis Scott vibe to it. Because Travis Scott, even Donald Glover's show Atlanta,
true,
it has a very like chaotic and almost random-esque, like, wait, where are we? Is there where are we going type thing? But they're able to execute that's at such a high level that like there's method to the madness, if you know what I mean.
Also in Atlanta, there's also a more obviously clear narrative that we can hold on to as we go. We're like, oh, we know that guy, he's the main character. We know him, that's his brother or whatever.
But I think in those things,
you need the mic for that.
It's always like the thing of keeping the tension. You know, from when you go from one thing to the other, where you don't lose the audience, and then, you know, it's completely disconnected from what just happened, and people are just like, what?
Which didn't happen to me.
Exactly. So
I was it kept me. It didn't lose me by doing that.
So I think maybe even if it's chaotic or sporadic or all of that, if it's probably well enough thought through that, you know, it keeps you hooked, and, you know, like it's thought about. And the idea of walking around would be really sick, but I think from a production standpoint, like that's super complicated. And also,
is it more complicated than switching stuff on stage? Yeah, like having it left there set up. Isn't that easier?
No, but also because like from a audience standpoint, how many people were watching? Probably like 300.
Way more than that. I would have thought.
Like.
Yeah, maybe about 3.
So you would have to have small groups so that everybody can see, and then performers would have to perform like multiple times a day.
Okay, yeah.
And then you need a rig in all the different rooms.
But in a different, if they had budget and all of that, maybe that's
impossible,
something you could do.
But it's just, I think, like a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
Okay,
probably a lot more expensive.
Yeah, true.
Well done, producer.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Jen's a producer.
Yep,
that's what she said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's sick, man. I think people should go see it. I was highly impressed. Go on.
Oh, no, I was going to say it because I never asked my question when I said
what was your question?
Oh.
So to both of you, were there maybe 1 or 2 really standout performers?
Yeah.
Apart from or maybe it's the rappers, spoken word that you spoke about.
You want to say it first?
Who really...
Should we say it on 3?
No, because my thing, I can't say one of the things that stood out to me because it's part of the piece, and if I say it would be spoiling it.
Performer.
Oh, performer.
Do you have a name in your head? I have a name in my head.
1.
Hold on, because there's a lot of strong performers.
Yeah. All right, let me say this while you think. I think that show doesn't work without that cast.
Yeah.
That's
that statement.
That's not an not to say that the show is weak or anything like that, but to say that cast is not an easily, like, okay, bold statement taken back. It could work without that cast. Immediately back down. But more to say that cast is not an easily replaceable cast. Like you would have to work to find a replacement cast for every one of those.
Because the people that are performing, they're bringing them to the thing, and what they do is sick individually, and it happens that it all gels together, chemistry wise. I
think the cast did a sick
tough, man. I mean,
you can say stand-up moments without explaining what happens in it.
No, I know the stand-up moment, but you saying performer, right?
Yeah, I'm saying like someone that really stood out in the show.
But I mean, I think this is
for you. It's personal. It doesn't have to be objective.
It's personal.
It can be completely biased.
What's the name of the spoken word artist.
I want to say Magero, Magero.
He's so bad.
Tall guy. Why you do that?
He's so racist.
Wow.
Why you gotta do that?
Him. If I couldn't pick him, then I know who the second person is.
Who would it be?
Are we gonna say it on 3?
No, because I don't
Yes.
think we're thinking of the
Say
same
it on
person.
3. 1.
You say who I'm thinking.
2, 3.
Wild G.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Oh,
That's who I think.
Okay.
He's really good, and he's like this is why I say like the difference between, let's say, like the top cast member and the bottom is like 0.1. Like they're all sick. For me, Kana did really well. I thought
Kana is
flexible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
His solo was sick.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, I think because with the thing with Kana is he's like does, what do you call that?
Flexing.
Bone breaking,
Bone
flexing,
contortion,
whatever. Yeah. He's super crazy flexible, and I've seen a lot of that where the and obviously in different contexts, but the flexibility aspect just does all of the heavy lifting. Like, hey, look what I can do.
Cool tricks.
Yeah. And I've seen it also be put into shows because of that. Like the show can be well choreographed, but they just throw in a flexible guy or a guy that can do a backsummy or a guy that can do the robot just because it will have a little moment of wow factor. But the way they built him into that piece, his like the thing with him and Warren going into his solo, and then the way he took that concept, continued into his solo and performed like a motherfucker. Like it worked, man, like emotionally and stuff. Like he can do some crazy shit. Like for anyone that hasn't seen Kana, he can do some crazy,
It was fucked.
flexible, cool shit. He can dance, he can do tutting. He's a dope dancer. But that was as on the same level as his performance.
Yeah.
And his use of the concept and the whole thing was equal with that, how cool that shit was. Like it wasn't doing any of the heavy lifting. And it's probably partially Ivan's direction and choreography that has like created that thing. And I would imagine Kana had input in choreographing and building up that thing, but I was really impressed by that.
I was like I was at the back, so there was like some people in front of me and I couldn't see like the floor, and that's happened before in theatre shows, and I'm just like, all right, if they're doing something on the floor which they need to be aware of, that I'm just like, oh yeah, whatever, I just don't get to see that part of the performance. But I was standing up every single time they went to the floor. I was like, what the fuck are they doing down there, bro?
Yeah,
sick. Like I was thoroughly impressed by Traplord.
Yeah, and you know, each of the bits that they did, pretty much you need to be good at what you do in order to hold that down. Like Warren, in order to like use the mic and interact with an audience and speak without, you know, giving too much away, he just like, you know, he has a mic and he speaks, and without
this is spoiler free. Warren,
yeah, it is spoiler free. It's a review.
Go guys. All right, I'm just stressing you out, mate. He's so stressed right now. If you're listening on the podcast, he's like, yeah, come on guys.
But like, to be able to do what he did, you have to be good at it. And like, it's not just a case of being confident. And like, this is the other thing, you know, like where I said the flexibility, people just throw that in. Anyone that's confident and outgoing, they just give them a mic and say, go and speak to the audience. You'll be great at it. Yeah. Just because they're not scared to do it. But that's very different from having like timing, having understanding of how people think, when they're going to respond.
That's a great shot.
Do you know what I mean? And like how to turn, you know, it reminded me of, remember the Donald Glover, Childish Gambino in this case, when he freestyled and then he like started
speaking
and then went back into it. That level of like being able to slip in and out of performing and casual conversation, and like Warren pulled that off like a G, like a Y.
And he's never, from my knowledge, done really any of that. And I mean, I spoke to him afterwards, and he was like, this is all relatively new to him, this whole like entertainment actor aspect of.
He's fucking good at it, man.
He's flipping sick at it, man. I was like, I don't know why you haven't done this sooner.
Yeah.
Like, really impressive.
But I wonder also like how much the team are pulling these things out of them. Yeah. That's, do you know what I mean? It's like,
he told me a story about that. There is some of that aspect there.
Right. Which is good. You know, you need that. You need that from both sides. You need capable cast, but you also need directors, choreographers, even producers that can pull these skills out of you.
Well, that's the thing. They've got a lot of different people in the cast. Like, forget the people that are doing choreography, or like, I don't know, the lighting, all of the crew side, the cast side. They've got multiple talented people who are used to putting on shows and doing all of that as well. So and in theatre, it's a collaborative process, mostly, depending on what production you're a part of. But the show changes as the show goes on all the time. So maybe Traplord by the end will be a completely different show to what I saw on the first night.
For sure.
And what you saw on Tuesday. But it's basically, yeah. I mean, I think you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's why I just paused and said, yeah.
I think that's a testament to a great team.
Yes.
And, you know, great performances or outstanding performances that don't, you know, where everybody brings out the best in everybody. So the cast allows the artistic director or the choreographer to really push their choreography because they can perform it to that level.
Yeah.
And also the director feels confident enough to push the performers out of their comfort zone. And same goes with like the producers, the designers, the sound, all of it. So I think that's what makes a difference between not necessarily a good show and a not as good show, but I think the really outstanding ones really have a good collaborative team where everybody pushes each other and everybody is able to give the best of themselves.
Yeah, I imagine that they probably had a few blow-ups working on that though as well.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean any big production.
Yeah, especially with what they've got. If they've all worked together to bring that out, like they probably would have had to go through some turbulence to bring it to that space. Because flipping hell, you don't get that just with smooth sailing. That doesn't just come together like, hey, everything's good, we're all sick, and we're just going to produce it. Hey, it's great. Yeah. All right, bye.
I mean, I guess we can talk about the theme of it. It's no?
Yeah, it's on Sadler's Wells website.
Yeah.
Just read what Sadler's Wells website has put, and then we can talk about whatever they've put on there.
Fine.
Guys.
Abe, give us a song while I find it.
Okay. I'll give you spoken word.
Go on.
Sadler's Wells. Sadler. Well.
Woo!
Sandler. Adams. Sandals.
Wells.
Manhandle.
Wells.
Bells. Christmas jingles.
Wells.
Bells.
Wells Fargo. Have you got it up?
Yeah, I've got it.
Go now before I get killed. Well done, Jen.
Thank you.
Good tactic.
Wells.
I won't read the whole thing. From award-winning dance artist and cultural innovator Ivan Michael Blackstop comes Traplord, a dance performance meditating on life, death, and rebirth. Wandering between dreams and reality, Traplord takes us on a new heroic journey to self-actualization. Using dance, theatre, and spoken word to explore raw and confrontational themes of mental health and masculinity, Traplord is an invitation to question the stereotyping of black men in contemporary Western society. An attempt to escape from the mental state of being condemned before having lived. That's a fire description. Shout out to the producer or whoever wrote that. I was going to ask you, what is your, like how, I mean, you don't have to speak too specifically in terms of spoilers anyway. Just realizing this is going to be a long episode. It's all good.
And it's all good.
And it's all good. How well did that like theme connect with you? How did it get across those emotions? Because I had moments of like feeling emotional just on the masculinity aspect.
Yeah.
And there was moments where I was like, oh yeah, that's some real shit.
Yeah.
And the way that they did it and the emotions that were coming across, I was like, yes, like I'm feeling that. Yeah. And that's without the layer of being a black guy and the black aspect of it. So was that like double layered for you?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't really get too emotional when I'm watching art or theatre pieces, but there were certain sections in there that hit me and I was like, I've never had to process these feelings that you've just introduced to me. That's great. I'm going to process it now.
And off to therapy.
Which was great. Very powerful.
Sick.
And for those of you that don't know, I'm half Iranian, half Jamaican. So the black, but like growing up, I would say, you know, I'm black. I don't have any of my Iranian family here. It's all my black family and I've mostly grown up like that. So that's what I relate to for the most part. Watching that as a black man it's cool it was really nice to see that perspective on stage as well, because it's not something that you see often in theatre. I think it's starting to happen now. I think there's a lot of theatre spaces and shows put on. I haven't seen Barbershop.
Chronicles.
I think so. The one written by Inua. Yeah. Barbershop. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. But I've heard that's amazing. I saw, I'm not going to remember what it's called, but it was the one with Lenny Henry and it was put on in Stratford.
Didn't you just see something on this topic recently? The play?
Small Island.
Small Island, yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I've heard. I've got a couple. I know a couple people in there.
You have to go see it.
Do you know what's hilarious?
The mic.
Just quickly. We were at the National. Me and Gavin were at the National doing something, and one of his brethren who I've worked with came up and was like, "Yo, I'm going to try and get a ticket to Small Island." We're like, "Oh, is it?" Like the doors opened at 7 and
that night.
Oh, okay. He was there like at that time. Yeah, I'm going to try and get tickets. He went in the elevator, came back down. I got tickets to Small Island. We were like, "Damn, man, we should have done that, bruv." And then like half an hour later, we could hear Small Island being played over the speakers, and we looked, and he was just standing there, and we were like, didn't he get tickets to go in? He got tickets. He had to pay tickets to watch Small Island on the TV outside.
Oh, wow.
That's flipping hilarious. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. Yeah, it was cool. And I did say to Gavin walking out, like, I wonder how people, especially because, let's be honest, don't want to generalize, but most people who go to the theatre it's normally a space of people who come from a lot of money and aren't particularly black. But I wonder how they would sit there and interpret what they see on stage and how they would take that in. Because I've seen, what theatre show was it? Leopoldstadt? We saw Leopoldstadt. And that is very, very heavy on like the Jewish side of like
World War II.
Yeah, and life and what they had to go through. And there was a lot of references lost on me. Right. So like I was watching it and I could only imagine there were a few Jewish people in the audience that were laughing at the references, and I was just like, okay, they just said a bunch of words that I don't get. So I wonder if there's any of that element with Traplord.
But also, that's how you learn. Yeah. Like that's kind of the thing about, I find like culture and art that kind of transcends, like ethnic background or religion or whatever, is that there's a story in front of you or something you can relate to, and it makes you ask questions, oh, what was that story about? Oh, I didn't know that.
So maybe
happened.
You not getting the reference was the point.
Yeah, or I mean, obviously there's different degrees of, some people are going to understand it, but if you don't understand it, hopefully it makes you interested and curious enough to then
try and find out.
Yeah, or go see something else, or I think,
or just be aware.
Be open to it.
100%. I'm saying that since we watched that, I've learned.
I converted to Judaism.
I've learned you can't convert to Judaism. That's what I've learned.
You can't.
Not really. No, I've learned that it has to be
pass through the mum.
Oh goddamn!
Yeah, which I did not know before.
Bad time to eat.
Bad time to eat? No, there's no bad time to eat, especially when it's chocolate bangers.
The last pod, I just heard me every time.
But I think about audiences,
though. Carried on eating.
Yeah. Please do. About audiences, like, it's true that a lot of theater, like a lot of shows are expensive. So maybe there's a demographic that you have to have to be in a certain earning bracket to be able going to the theater regularly. But I also think that, I've gone to see shows that were from different perspectives, and the audience is then a lot more diverse than when it's kind of a very like a very upper class white story that caters to kind of the narrative that we're comfortable in that. And when you kind of have new writers, like other actors, other stories, other perspectives, then the audience who are interested in that show up. Yeah. So I think it's kind of a bit of a chicken or the egg thing that, okay, it is expensive to go to the theater, but at the same time, when you see something that speaks to you, then you're like, oh, maybe I will spend that money.
100%. Like, if you look at, like, I'd say black people are the first people to go out and support something that they relate to. You look at Black Panther sales, like,
Yeah.
Every black person was like showing up at cinema, so I'd imagine like
I think also, say with something like the Jewish stuff that you watched in that show, the culture of Judaism isn't necessarily all around us every day. Black culture is. So I think where you have like, I mean, even someone like me who's like, I related a lot to the masculinity aspect. Obviously, I didn't grow up black, but it's like that culture and those people are around me all the time. So I understand the references, and I think more people, it's a more general, the culture is more part of our culture than some other.
I would say that for you, yeah, but not the people that would be going to the theatre.
Yeah, fair enough.
People that would be going to the theatre would be like, racism doesn't really exist anymore, guys. Like, that's what I'd imagine.
Come on, it was 400
Come
years
on,
ago.
guys, get over it. What? You're not allowed to have your hair the way you want it? That's crazy.
But I think, you know, also I think the other thing I would say is like, depending on the story and how it's done and how abstract it is and stuff, you can relate to different parts of it. Do you know what I mean? It's like there could be, you could be gay and you could be watching a love story between a girl and a guy and you're like, oh cool, well I relate to love.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter that it's not like, whoa, I don't understand this and it's not another guy. Like,
oh yeah, no, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, yeah,
so
no.
I think for me it's like, okay, like there, you know, obviously I am one of the demographics that we're talking about in being a guy, but still it's like, okay, maybe this, and you know, maybe there are certain demographics you have to come from, but I think there are themes in that you can relate to beyond just being a black guy. You know?
Yeah, there's something I want to. Yeah, yeah. No, because it'd be spoiling it.
Okay.
And we've got a lot to get through.
Yeah, we've got.
You should do a Patreon, and then we could do an exclusive one where we do a spoiler podcast.
If you're listening and you think that you would pay for a Patreon for our raw, unfiltered thoughts, where we do spoilers, where we do reviews, where we do all the swearing, because obviously this is a clean one, without swearing. Obviously,
this is the clean version.
No, Abe, that's the top tier. Then do let us know, because at the moment it's not part of the plans, but I will put it in the plans if people want one.
Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. Any last thoughts on Traplord?
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah,
twice.
You excited to see it twice?
Yes.
Well, how come have you already bought 2 tickets?
No, I got 2 free tickets on 2 different nights. So I'm gonna see it, take it in, see it again.
Take it in.
Yeah.
Who gave you comps?
It's my favorite prize.
Yo.
Yo.
I just want to ask Abe and Jen if you know who's on the phone.
Shawnee Boo Boo!
Hey, what you saying, G?
We're in the building.
Yeah, we in the building. Hit it up one time for my man Shawn. Give him them claps.
What's happening?
It's popping.
Sean Plague Amy. Sean Plague Game Collective. How are you, bro?
I'm finally on the Capsule, yeah?
You are live and direct on the Capsule.
Right.
Bro, you're welcome to come through anytime. You don't live far.
Like, finally, yeah? I made it now.
Yeah.
Bro, you know what it was? You know why you made it? Because apparently all of a sudden you hate all the crews in the country. No, I'm
Talk
joking.
about it.
Did you guys see what Sean wrote?
I believe he said, how many crews do we have in the UK? The ones that actually battle, though, because you guys could be called crews and everyone else is...
Yeah.
I believe that was his word specifically.
I think he spelled out.
Yeah.
Sean, what was the... Give us the lowdown. Like what sparked that, and what did you collect any insightful research? What was the final feedback?
In terms of what sparked it, I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes I just put random stuff out. I just ask random questions.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it was just one of them ones. I think I might have seen something and it crossed my mind, and I was like, let me put this on Instagram and ask the people. So yeah, I asked it. I got a few responses. I think there was, as I said, there was around about 10 crews, and that's a bit of a push, you know.
Yeah, that sounds about
Some
right.
of them, yeah, there's about 10 crews, I would say, that actually battle.
Yeah.
Did you get
I don't
any...
know, 10,
sorry, Sean, go on.
yeah, what would you say? Do you think like 10 is a good number?
I'm just thinking in terms of... Yeah, I mean, in terms of like being around the scene, like I'm not surprised at about 10 people. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think if I had to list all the crews. I can't... Do I know more than 10? Like... Also, like me and you kind of half had this conversation, but about like what determines a crew, because like we were talking about I think Lewis put UMA and I was like in terms of
we don't really
let's get into that one. Is UMA even a flipping real crew, bro? Is it a crew?
Wait, don't make me and Lee come out of retirement, bro, because we will come out and make it a crew if you want.
If you and Lee come back out if you and Lee come out of retirement, it will be.
Do you want us to be a crew?
Without Lee and Abe, it's just a duo, bro.
No, but I think this is what I was saying is like you've got me and Lewis who battle, and that's kind of it at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, if you think of, all right, actively, do we battle? Not rude, like two of us. Okay. Do we dance? Yes. Like me, you, Lewis, Lee, and Mus,
Dennis
are all dancing actively, right? But we're not training together. We're not competing. We're still friends and we're still a family and we still all talk and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, okay, in that sense.
That's why I didn't put UMA.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay, yes, we're still a crew in the family sense in terms of, because Shawn specified active crews.
Yeah.
I wouldn't class us as an active crew.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
But if you want us to be.
If you want to issue that challenge.
I don't think people want us to be a crew. You heard me?
Well, I've been trying to get Abe out of retirement for a minute. So
I've been trying, bro. I've been trying.
Not happening. If I don't come back, I won't lose.
Shawn, he was gonna, and then I started fucking smoking people.
I will come back just to beat Luke. Like, if you put me through pre-selection, make sure Luke's my first battle, and I'll smoke him, and I'll be like, I forfeit. Yeah.
I'm not even a popper. I do hip hop.
right.
You can't say that anymore.
So who else we got, Shawn? Did you get obviously like the B-boy crews? Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you don't have a list in front of you, but
all right, let me get it up. I'll get it up real quickly.
Oh, he did have a list.
Did you have anyone say a crew name to you and you were like, bruv, shut up?
Apart from UMA.
Yeah, apart from Lewis.
Yeah, like when it came like Shawn shared it and it said like UMA, I was like, this has to be Lewis. It's only me and him and I didn't do it.
You messaged him and went, Lewis, shut up, bro.
It's like, I know Abe and Lee didn't do it.
All right, so let me run you through the list of who replied.
Let's go.
Go on.
So I've got Rain.
Yeah, that I would. Wait, should we give our validation on each one?
I don't.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm not. You guys do it. I've not in the scene enough.
Rain, I think. Yeah. Rain.
Like, who's there from Rain right now?
Yeah, I get. Okay, so actively, I don't know. So you've got like Chili and Clint. I see them, but also we have to bear in mind there's been 2 years of pandemic, so we haven't had a lot of battles. So we got to give people a chance.
Dwayne reps Rain crew.
Who?
Dwayne.
Hip-hop Dwayne. Yeah. Dwayne.
Yeah.
Dwayne, Clint. I mean, even if it's just Dwayne, Clint, and Chili, but then you've got other people that like, I guess they rep it, but they never danced. Some of them don't dance, right? They're just it's like a crew thing.
But also, I feel like what we gotta give Rain is that they also put on like events. Training sessions.
That counts.
Yeah, that matters.
So they're like contributing to the scene.
Yeah, so they're not necessarily like a battle crew per se, but I feel like they are quite active.
They also train people, like they teach younger kids. Yeah. Like I think this all counts.
Yeah.
All right, who's on next? Next one.
UMA will skip that. We got someone replied BDK official.
Yeah, BDK. They're from up north. It's a guy, I actually don't know his real name, but his dance name is the General. I think he's part of it, and I think like you know Zin that you battled in Bristol. I think it's some of them lot have a thing called BDK. I think.
So that's like Birmingham and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know if they're like Abe is knocking over equipment all over the place. It stands for Break the Code. Yeah, they're Birmingham. It's this guy General. Okay. It says Ruben, Jaheim and Zin. Yeah. I was not far off. So there's 4 of them in that. So I mean, I know for a fact General battles and I know Zin battles. I'm not sure I know the other 2, but I'll give them that. I'll give them that.
All right. The next one, I would definitely agree that this is like a proper crew. It's UPG.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it goes without saying.
Yeah, man.
UPG.
Them guys are sick.
Yep.
Dime Stop again.
Dime Stop. Yep.
Yeah. And then there was like Urban City Dance, and not to be funny, but I don't know anyone that has a crew that would call your crew Urban City Dance.
Say that again. Say that again.
Abe took his headphones off for a second.
I had to close the window because it's Baltic. Go.
But I mean, if he was coming up with a crew name, it doesn't sound like a crew name. It sounds like the name of
a dance school.
Yeah,
What's the name? What's the
something
name?
like that.
It is.
Urban
So I'm just
Dance
looking at their page.
What's it called?
Urban City Dance.
Oh, Jerry made that name, didn't he?
Hit a button for that.
Urban
But you
City
never know.
Dance.
They might have some sick people that are repping. Just you didn't know that they was in that crew.
Yeah, no, I mean it looks like a dance school from what I can see. It looks like they're doing like UDO type stuff and Saw and those type
Oh,
of
well, then
things.
that makes sense. That's a bunch of kids, right?
Yeah, they just look like a
Oh,
younger
well, then
crew,
that's
so
why it's called
fair.
Urban City Dance. Fair enough. They're going to grow up and be like, why do we call our crew that?
Hey, listen,
In like 2 years' time.
should we throw stones with given the full name? of our crew?
Urbantainment.
No.
Oh, Ultra Mega.
No, don't go that far back.
Urbantainment was whack, bro. Ultra Mega awesome. Wicked. But that, like.
You don't even know.
I do know it, but that is
Yeah,
a
but
funny
what about
name.
Toybox?
Toy
What
Box.
about
Toy
Toybox?
Box
Toy Box wasn't
whack.
my name either.
Toy Box was whack, and we even had this whack.
I haven't named any of my crews.
I haven't named any. I'm Luke. We also have this whack. We had this whack thing. Shawn, I don't know if you ever saw it, where we'd like make a T with our hands, and then we'd make a box with our hands, and then the top would open up like a jacket.
Oh my god!
Bro, it was so whack, man.
I love it.
Bro.
We were 18.
Yeah. We also had me and Lee as the only black people in the crew, basically.
Oh my lord!
It was not a good look, bro.
Do the sign.
All right, Sean, who else we got?
We got Go Getter Poppers, which is Tyro's thing.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay,
that's-
we have there. Slayer
Yeah,
and those
man.
guys.
I think Slayer
Wait,
and
by the way-
Pegasus.
By the way, I just have to give Slayer a shout out on this thing
Shout him out.
Ooh.
because it's not necessarily hip hop related, but Slayer is the youngest ever open level winner of the Modern Jive Championships, the World Modern Jive Championships.
Oh, he
Jive.
jived.
He does like partners. I've actually got a video of it. It's actually sick.
Round of applause for that one.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Slayer.
Wow.
I love that your name's Slayer and you do jive.
Yeah, you know.
Also, man, just on another level, like the transition from being one of the kid poppers into coming into one of the adult poppers and representing at a proper level as well, you know?
Yeah.
You don't see it often. You see like the transition where they go from kids and they have to battle the adults now. You always see a drop off, but he's handling it well, man. Like he's stepping up.
And he seems to have a
match
good
the-
attitude when he loses, which I always keep an eye on with people.
Yeah.
Is like if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
lose and start bitching, then I'm like, ugh.
I've only seen the battle that he had against Omni.
Where?
The AIM Collective
Oh, yeah.
thing. But that, I like his movement.
Yeah,
Very
and
good.
he's young
Yeah,
as
man.
fuck,
Very,
man.
very-
He's
how
like
old-
14 or 15.
He's 14, 15.
He's 14. How is he that tall?
Yeah.
He's like 6'12".
What the hell, man?
That's 7 foot.
LeBron James. That's
Yeah, you should be
ridiculous.
playing basketball, man.
I was-
Anyway,
I was like, when I was 14, I was, the same height as I am now.
Yes,
I was actually taller when I was 14. And if we ever do crew versus crew basketball, then Slayer is in UMA. So, all right, who's next on the thing? So we had, Go Getters, obviously, those guys. are
Yeah.
dope.
And then we got In the House for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had just the ones that we know, which is Firehouse, Monsters, Primal Instinct.
Yeah.
When was the last time
Smack 19.
Firehouse battled?
I don't know, man.
Huh?
I
Let's
don't know.
talk about it, bruv.
I don't know. When was the last time they did anything?
Oh, wait! I thought Sean was gonna not be on our side. Nah, they got a few.
The league?
No, obviously, Firehouse do their Thursday sessions.
Yeah, they do. If we're talking about like rainbow
Firehouse
stuff,
put on events for the scene.
Fine.
fine.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so Firehouse, Monsters, Primal Instincts, Soul Mavs.
That's what I was going to ask.
When was the last time Monsters
What's wrong with that?
Harry Breaks, Marvel still do. Marvel less so, but Harry and Breaks are still around.
That's just a duet.
Yeah.
But there's
Sean.
there's 3 of them,
Boy.
4 of them.
Yeah, there's pressure, there's...
Wait, so what you're saying is if Monsters are a crew, UMA are a crew?
Yeah, if Monsters are a crew, you're a mayor crew.
No.
Yeah, thanks to
Pressure
me and
entered
Lewis.
at the AIM event.
That's true.
Oh,
okay,
crap.
that's 3. Damn it. Who's the next? Yeah, who else have we? No, so
Did I say Smack 19?
yeah, Smack 19.
That's a sick name. Who's Smack 19?
LB and the guys that run Groovonometry Up.
They sound like
And
an
the,
affiliate of like some drug gang.
I forget the guys' names, but yeah,
Trust.
Smack 19.
And
It's
yeah, this
SMAC.
random crew called AIM as well.
AIM, I'm not sure then. Boo.
Hey.
Yeah, AIM. Who else? What other crews are there? What about like I'm thinking other styles. So the Whackers, True, Angelica, and the other dude. They
I spoke to her about that. She said she doesn't see them as a crew, but they are like they work together to represent Whacking. So one of the things that we spoke about on the phone, me and you, Luke, we were speaking about there needs to be like an entity of some sort, or like a thing that you're all collectively representing.
Yeah, if you
like
don't,
a name of some sort, you know.
Yeah, like if you don't recognize yourself as a crew, you're not. Because like UMA, like me, Lee, Abe, and Mus were friends and dancing and hanging around together for like a few years before we called it UMA. So before that, it wasn't actually, even if we're a group of friends, it wasn't actually a crew.
Yeah.
Until we made it like, oh, this is the thing that we're repping now. And
I wasn't even in UMA when you guys first made it.
Yeah, because you joined Monsters.
What was I going to ask? I was going to ask something. No, carry on. You guys keep talking.
So we got Whacking. So House. There's what's Tomo's people?
Fuse. Something.
Tomo's crew is called Fuse.
Fuse, and then some numbers.
There's some numbers afterwards.
Yeah, so they're I'd say they're a crew. They still do like showcases and stuff as well.
What about
I would say so.
We like, what is it? We ain't regular.
Oh yeah, well,
what?
yeah. I'd give them maybe a crew. They entered the Six Corners thing. Sean, what do you think?
Anyone who entered the Six Corners thing was technically a crew because that was recent.
We Ain't Regular is they're a choreography group and they do a lot of like show. They was like as a choreography group, they're like up there. But I guess the debate is whether we count them as a battle crew, seeing as they've only done one battle. But you've got some members like J Funk who kill it in battles.
I guess that one would need to be something to think about.
And more whether they identify as a battle crew. Well, maybe they'd say no.
I'm sure there's a lot of crump crews as well, like AMP and stuff like that, but there's not enough crump events for them to enter or compete.
Yeah, okay, so there's probably
definitely crump crews that we haven't spoken about.
Yeah.
Like some of them got a reply to the story after it was, I wasn't putting it up anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, after it was done.
But it's like, it's hard to define what is a crew. It's just if people get together and decide
this is what
that they're
saying
a crew.
as well. Yeah, it's like you have to self-identify as a crew also.
Yeah. But then it's also based on what you do and what it is that you represent and these kind of things.
Yeah. Do you think it's we need more crews, or what's your analysis of the situation with crews in the country?
I enjoy crews. I enjoy the crew aspect. I think it's definitely something that has been dying for, I would say, 10, 15 years now. But yeah, I definitely would like there to be more crews and more things for crews to take part in as well.
Yeah, I think that's well, okay, so I think that's one thing where you have like the opportunities for crews to battle, but then it's also if we don't have a lot of crews, then event organizers don't want to put on battles, and it's like a chicken and the egg.
Yeah.
Like, do we make more crews for no reason, or do we?
But before you would have a crew, and there didn't need to be a reason. You didn't need to have events. You would just be a crew.
Do you want my controversial take?
Oh,
yeah, go.
My controversial take is that the increased unity in the scene killed crews a little bit. And I think with stuff like Trocadero and stuff like that, where we're all training together, there's no incentive to build a crew because
rivalry.
Yeah, and the reason I say this is because I had it so highlighted to me when like the UMA like heyday, I guess, when we were all battling at one. There was like 8 of us battling.
Yeah,
we trained in Watford like 3 times a week, right? And then this was at the same era as like Trocadero and stuff like that. And I never loved, like I used to come to Trocadero, but I never loved training there because we had our own spot. And I kind of liked showing up at a battle and being like, here's all the cool shit.
You don't know my shit.
Yeah, you don't know your shit. Here's the stuff that we worked on. We built our stuff. Like, I don't train with you guys. So when you see my stuff, you're going to enjoy it or whatever. Or that's, that was the mentality at least. So I think stuff, and everyone was super like, I know we still have this of like, oh, let's all train together and let's all go to every event together and blah, blah, blah. And I think it's like this, in a way, what people can see as like, oh, there's no unity and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, cool. But in the competition scene, the unity is, us meeting up at competitions and like shaking hands afterwards and showing love and showing respect for each other of like, oh, that was a sick battle. It's like, when you guys, you were in KOD, right, Sean?
Yeah.
With Firehouse. Like when UMA guys battled you guys at at KOD, right?
That was such a sick battle.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like, I think, and I wasn't in it, but I saw it from, like, you know, I trained with them a few times. I saw it from the outside perspective. It's like they had so much like, oh yeah, these guys are sick, and like, oh, this, like, Shawn's sick and Brooke's sick and blah blah. But it was also like, let's fucking train so we can beat people like this, you know?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
in the battle, it was like, I want to go at the head. And it's like, that's, for me, that's unity. Is like, we respect you as competitors enough to work our asses off to be better than you, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think this kind of, a bit, I guess, like the kind of hippie side of the scene of like, let's all hold hands and hug each other.
I mean,
it kills this need to.
If you look at the French scene, for example, they're still going at each other's throats, you know?
Yeah. But they're all like have each other's backs.
Yeah.
Right?
But when they're in Paris or when they're in France, they want to take each other out.
Yeah.
I think that it might be because
they're French.
all the not about the French people, because I haven't heard that about French people. I don't know that much about
outside of the country. They would have each other. Like, it's like here in England.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's with anything. If you'd go to another country, you rep.
Yeah, it's like if
corner.
Shawn's in Firehouse and it's a crew battle, like, I want to beat him.
Yeah.
If we're both, if it's just me and Shawn out of the country, we're the UK people. You're
no,
my,
of course.
yeah.
But yeah, like, I don't know if it's because the people who were battling and had that fire and that spark have gotten older. We're all trying to move on with life stuff now and like get houses and stuff like that, and we've got kids and
Not him.
And the younger generation that are coming up, maybe because, I don't know, because there's not been that much around, and because of the way the world's naturally going with hey, don't yell at me, like, type aspect. The crew, that type of fire and ego type of stuff is dying out.
Could be.
Yeah. I mean, I was speaking to Marvel on Tuesday, and we were speaking about it, like the guys that are coming through now, like you've got Omni, you've got Silk, Boogie, you've got these kind of guys.
Duke London.
But they don't have that, like, that same type of rivalry that, like, we had.
Yeah, 100%. You can see it the way they battle.
I would see Marvel somewhere and I would be like, I'm not losing to him today.
Yeah.
I mean, or like, fuck that crew kind of thing. That was the energy, like, maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But that energy ain't around anymore. And that energy just pushed us to get better and improve.
Yeah, 100%.
But I also think it's like, you know, it's kind of what Abe was saying about the everyone being super offended by everything and blah, blah. But it's like you also need for people to be able to take that energy for you to be able to give it, if you know what I mean? Because otherwise you just come across like a dick, or people get like annoyed or whatever. So it's like...
It needs to be reciprocated.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, we can... I don't know, like even now, like Shawn, like me and you, if we had a popping battle and we like went hard at each other, it's like neither of us are getting pissy about that afterwards. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you could come for me for no reason and just smoke me, and I'm not going to be like, why did Shawn do that? Like, so it's like, I don't know if that's the case with the younger kids, but maybe there's that worry of like, I don't know if they're going to take this well or what.
I don't know. I don't think it.
It was your point.
No, I'm saying, no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying, like, adding on to it. Like, personally, I think there is a perspective. Like, I know if I came back and competed, if I lost, I would spend time and energy trying to enter the next event and smoke everyone.
Sure.
Which is why I'm not coming back to compete, because I don't have the energy or the time to do that.
To commit,
it seems to me like people who compete these days, if they lose, they're more upset about the fact that they lost, and they're like, those judges don't know what they're talking about or whatever.
There is a lot
rather than, fuck it, next event I'm showing up and I'm smoking everyone.
Do
you know what I mean?
I think there is a lot of like complaining about judges and stuff, which I'm like, it's never going to be perfect, so just
subjective.
I mean, to some degree we all complain about the judges a bit, but at some point you also like, I'm going home and I'm fucking training. Are you mad? Next event, watch.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I'm sure there's battles that I've had which I'm like, you know, I remember Two-Face didn't put me through at one thing, and I was like, brother, he's out of his fucking mind. But at the same time, the next event I was like, I'm fucking winning this, man.
Yeah, I'm eating.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Fair play. I think we need more healthy competition, and I think it's, you know, it's good that we create rivalries and stuff like that, as long as we can you know, show that we can be grown-ups about it and not. I wonder also, just this thought came into my mind, our generation of battlers, because I guess like say Shawn, like JoJo's and Throwdown had an age limit, so I feel like when me and you and Abe started in this scene, the general level of dancer was older. Like Sonny was an anomaly because he was young. Now the general level is like a lot younger. So I wonder if it was like an adult, like we were all 18 and older, we were all drinking, we were all smoking, we were all like a bit. So when we do these things, it has a bit more of a mature atmosphere around it because we're all grown-ups.
Whereas that entering competitions at 14.
Yeah, and it's like, first of all, two 14-year-olds, like if you think of like Leah and Lauren battling, there's a like, they're not going to have that same like fuck you energy as maybe like me and you battling now, Shawn, you know, or even it's like, okay, if I'm battling someone younger, or if like Shawn, if you're battling Slayer, there's a certain like physical, even age-wise, it's like where you know he looks up to you, and he knows he looks like. It's not quite the same.
You behave differently.
Yeah. Whereas, and then you get Sonny who comes in and he's just like fuck everyone. But like besides that, I wonder if it's an age thing as well.
It's more family friendly.
What do you think, Jen?
Yeah, hit it, Jen.
Do you have any thoughts, opinions
about mics?
I mean, not particularly, but I do think that, like, to a certain extent, if there's no tension or no incentive to improve, but it's like training to win an event, and there's a difference between thinking I want to win this event or I want to take people out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, of like, okay, I want to smoke people, or I just want to get the title of winning that event. Where I think maybe now, because of like social media and stuff, it's a lot more focused on winning events rather than like giving a incredible performance or smoking people, you know.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why I'm enjoying popping a lot at the moment, is because I'm not expecting any wins, but I know there's some people I can take out and there's some wins I can get in terms of like rounds. So whenever I'm at a battle, I'm like, I'm gassed if I beat one person. So I'm just concentrating on like, all right, I'm through the prelims. I'm giving my all for this first round, and then I win, and then I lose the next round. But I'm like, I had one great round. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not so worried about did I win the whole thing or did I lose. I'm just like, every person that's in front of me, I'm like, it will be sick if I can beat you. Oh, I beat you. Oh, it'll be sick if I can beat you. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I also think like maybe for the younger generation, and I mean, I've said this before to like Camilla and like Silk, like, they need to. We traveled a lot and battled a lot outside, and I know Camilla just went to Paris. For an event.
That made me think as well. Is like, I don't see many people traveling.
No, but I feel like you do get that hunger as well when you travel to a place, enter, and don't make it through. Like, you're like, for flip's sake,
because you're repping something way bigger as well.
Yeah, you're not just repping yourself, and also you're the unknown anomaly person, so you kind of want to.
I do miss traveling for battles.
You kind of want to show out. So I don't know. Maybe that changes with restrictions being lifted and stuff like that. Maybe people again,
it definitely makes you perform differently when you go outside.
Yeah, man.
So different. Like there's a new energy. There's again the thing that you said about people not knowing you. You're the unknown. You want to go and prove yourself, you know, because you go. It's like when you go into a foreign place and there's a community already in that place. You go and step into that community. Yeah, and everyone already kind of looks around and is like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah, 100%.
I fucking love
who's this girl? Like, and then it's your time to like show them who the fuck you are, kind of thing.
100%.
Yeah, and people have like fresh eyes. They're not expecting anything. They didn't know your last battle. It's like, it's a real like clean slate, which is I love.
Yeah.
All right, so moral of the story is we need more crews. We need more competition. Everyone start coming at each other's heads.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also think
we need more local rivalry, man.
I also
be aggressive.
I also don't know if like TikTok and in social media has something to do with that, because your point, Jen, when you were like, you know, maybe they just want to have like a nice performance or whatever, or you saying that they don't want to smoke someone.
I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying maybe it's a tendency.
Yeah, you said maybe. I do feel like these days.
Don't at me.
I'm not quoting. I do feel like there's a possibility that some people are like, right, I might be in a battle with you, but the camera's over there. I'm just going to do this cool stuff that I posted, and even if I don't win, it doesn't matter. I'm going to put this 30-second reel up on my Instagram thing, and no one knows if I won or lost, but they just know I did something cool in front of loads of people and I got some woos.
It's possible.
It's all possible.
Yeah.
Right, well, we're just breathing into mics now, Shawn. Sorry about that.
What do you mean we? It's you.
It was you.
I know. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you go, Shawn, because we talked way too much about way too much already. So
What happened to the judging conversation?
Oh, yeah, because he wants to cuss me out.
Go on. What's the judging conversation? Tell.
Let's do it. Fuck it. We're already having a long one.
Okay.
Your tweet, bro. Your tweet.
Sean,
what was his tweet?
Sean was
tweet.
Sean was coming for me on Twitter. Sean, I swear it's just me and you on Twitter. There's no one else from the scene.
Yeah, it's just empty. I like that though.
Yeah, it's like if I need
some rubbish and
if I need some fresh air, I just go to Twitter. I said.
You hid this off of your flipping Instagram?
No, I put it on my Instagram.
My name is Luke.
I said all battle prelims should be recorded and the judges should review the rounds backstage on a laptop in order to make their decision.
Ooh, yes.
Why did you say that?
So I think it's like...
Wait, you also said...
Yeah,
I said no other method is better.
I said no other method is better, and then I did add a smart ass. Thanks for coming to my TED talk. Because you got to add a little sass on Twitter.
That's get that bit into.
Yeah, it's Twitter, isn't it? You got to add a little sass. So here's my thing, right? Every single time and I'm not talking about, for clarity, I'm not talking about big events, although I think it should be put there anyway. But usually the way judging works, and for people listening who don't know, usually the way judging works is you have a list of people. It could be 20 people, it could be 60 people. Everyone that goes, you write a number from 1 to 10. Some people use 0.5s, some people don't. They just do whole numbers. Some people do 0.75, which is excessive, I think. And then you have these numbers. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 60. Then you have the marks that you've given them. You watch them, you mark them down, next person. Then you go backstage. And if it's, let's say it's me, Abe and Jen, I say, all right, what did you get for number 1? Abe goes, oh, I got 8. I say, oh, I got 8. Jen goes, I got 7. Okay, cool. We go through and we kind of find the top 16 of the numbers, right? Wise. Usually you'll have, if you're going top 16, you'll have maybe an 8 or 9 that are guaranteed. Like we all gave them 8s or we all gave them 9s or whatever, right? So they're in. Then you have the rest of them who are maybe debatable. So we all gave them 7s and 6s. Maybe there's some that me and Abe gave an 8 and Jen gave a 5 or something. So we kind of like, all right, we'll put them in the maybe pile or whatever. And it tends to be that this is the discussions backstage. And it's like, all right, well, what did you put? What did you put? And then what I've found, and tell me if you disagree, Sean, but like every time I've been judging or been backstage, it's like, it goes, oh, well, okay, we've got our... like let's say 12, we need 4 more to put in, and then it's like, well, what did you put for number 52? And it's like, oh, I gave him a 6, and then Abe's like, I gave him an 8, and I'm like, well, I gave him a 4, and it's like, who was number 52 again? And it's like, oh, the one, you know, the one like this is in the red shirt, and it's like, what do you mean the one in the red shirt? Like this one there, and then you look and you go, oh, I don't remember his round. Like it's a lot of people for us to remember. So my point is just that as a videographer, film the prelims, whether it's on a GoPro or whatever. Yeah. As soon as you're done, take the GoPro, take the SD card out, put it in a laptop for the judges at the back. We do our normal process. Okay, who's our guaranteed? We all know these are going through based on our marks. Then we say, oh, as soon as we get to our maybes or our not sures, we just look at on the prelims. Okay, fine. You know, we hold their number up to the camera before each one so we can skip through. And then we just say, well, number 52. Okay, let's watch it again. And then you watch it and you're like, why the fuck did I give them a 5? Actually, that's really good. Okay, yeah, let's put them through.
But then what's stopping you from...
All right, so let me interject.
Go on.
So if you need to watch them again to realize that you scored them incorrectly, that, first of all, it means you shouldn't be judging.
But that happens so much.
For me, when I'm judging, I make little notes, right? Like I will make little notes about each person, even if it's just a line.
Yeah.
I'll make a little note, like they wore this, or they had a really hard pop, or whatever it may be. So I'm much more likely to remember who that is. And then I think if you have that, then first of all, you remember who each person is.
Fair.
If you've got something that you can remember them by. And then the next thing is just get competent judges that can score like properly, because there should never be a situation where a judge gave an 8 and a judge gave a 4. The gap is too big. If we're marking out of 10, like, it's already flawed from the start. Do you know what I mean?
But what do you think about, like, okay, you give a mark in the moment after watching their battle. Like, you've watched 52 people, and then on the 53rd one, you give a mark based on, you know, what you've seen. But it's like, you wouldn't want a second chance to have a look at that and go, actually, I decided too quickly, or I rushed it, or...
Well, what's to stop you from watching it live?
What's different about that from a normal battle where it's head-to-head? Like, you're watching both of them battling, and you need to make a decision right now. You can't watch it again.
I suppose to play devil's advocate, and I'm not saying I agree here, but to play devil's advocate, there is a thing of human endurance with repetitiveness. I don't know how long it is in the day. What if you've not had breakfast? The event hasn't organised the time for you to eat or whatever. I don't know.
But then again, what's different from that watching the battle?
Well,
you watch there's not. And the rounds are close.
But 2 is different from 57.
Yeah, like if you watch.
But if we're speaking about endurance, then you might have been watching
100%. And I've seen battles, Shawn, where like people have gone up and it's 1 versus 1, and a judge is just clocked out and they're not watching a battle. That has definitely happened in a 1 versus 1. But my point is, why can't you record the prelims with the judges there marking everything?
That's what I'm saying.
I thought you sent them in a separate room.
No. I'm saying the judges watch and they do their marks like normal.
Need a replay.
Yeah, as a backup.
Well, I mean, in sport. Sorry, go, Jen.
No. I was just gonna say, if you need to have a reference, or like, let's say you're judging, and then let's say out of the top 16 or whatever, you have like 3 spots left, and we all have different 3 people that we would put through for those last spot. For example, well, let's say like, because they're all, you know, it doesn't have to be a 8 and a 4. It could be like, oh, I had them at a 6, I had them at a 5. Also, my last 3 would be different than yours. Then it just gives something to look at, so we can all agree on what the last on who the last 3 spots are.
But then that's when you get them to just go out and do a freeway.
Yeah, I mean,
if you look at the way they do it,
if you want to just base it on the round that was done, as opposed to the new, do you know what I mean? Like, then you say, okay, they do a three-way, and now I'm basing it on who does this second round the best, as opposed to if like.
I hear what you're both saying, and I can see where you're both coming from, and I kind of agree with both points. I think what would be helpful is not to use it like you're doing it every time, but a bit like, let's say in basketball, there's 2 minutes left. Was that someone called a goaltend? That wasn't a goaltend. Review the tapes. After reviewing it, it was a goaltend. The decision stands,
you know
or whatever, that type of thing.
I was going to say that I think Shawn's going to hate. Is I wouldn't even be against using this in the case of a tiebreaker. So I would say, you know, Kev has the no more ties thing, right? Because your job is to make a decision. I would say, if you're going to keep ties in the competition, like tell the judges you're allowed to tie. If one of you ties or whatever, or if all 3 of you tie, whatever it is, then obviously the downside of this is time and logistics, right? But in an ideal world where that doesn't matter, go backstage, like the battle's filmed, go backstage, play the battle back, watch it again, and the 3 of you discuss and say, and come back out with a decision. Like in basketball, where it's like, you know, the job of a referee in basketball or football is to react and call fouls live. But if there's a really close one and someone contests it, you can go back and watch it and see the replay. And maybe it's like, that could be an aspect in battles where it's like someone...
So are you suggesting that like the event would basically pause for a moment while the judges go backstage?
I'm saying in an ideal world, if we're looking at like we're not looking at the flow or the logistics of the event. We're just looking at in terms of fairness of judging.
Let's say it wouldn't be the norm, right? It's not the norm, but let's say for some reason there's a tight ass battle and both people are killing it, right?
Yeah.
It's you versus Brooke. Yeah, Shawn, and both people, you both do amazing rounds. Both your first and second round, you're both one up in each other, and there's no set like, geez, like there's no clear winner. You could go call and the judges are like, bruv, this could swing either way. I could vote for Shawn or I could vote for Brooke. You could say like, in this instance, this is a time where we can have a mulligan and watch the tapes just to...
What about... Wait, let me add another one.
Jen's looking like, no, don't.
You know, in basketball, the fouls are only contested if the bench, so the manager on the bench says,
for a review.
We want to review this thing. And they only get 2, I believe.
They get 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half.
Right. Imagine you had that as a battler. You get 1... You can contest 1 decision.
No. No. Unless you're doing that, let's say, for top 4.
Yeah, all right, let's say top 4.
If it's top 4, then yeah, but so I'm sorry, bruv.
Or let's say if me and you are battling, both parties have to agree. So like if I lose and I say I want to contest that, and you go, okay, cool, contest it.
Yeah, no, but you're bringing in people that are like, that's too much. Like, I could say like, I didn't lose that, I want to review, and you're like, bruv, I won. I'll go to the finals if I just say no.
Yeah.
No, we're not reviewing
all right,
it.
Can I just defend myself before you guys destroy my entire argument?
Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing I was saying
3v1, baby.
The only thing I was saying why I said that no other method is better, right, is because I don't see... I understand what you guys are saying in that it might not be necessary. However, I don't see how it can be a bad thing to have it there just in case.
Yeah, I think
like having it as the last resort backup is better than us getting to, even if you do happen to, because the reality, yes, of course we shouldn't have incompetent judges. Reality is in smaller jams, smaller budgets, you don't always have the best judges. But, you know, now and then, I think as an easy fix, having it as a standard where you can, like, you know, we don't want ties in battles, but we know what to do if there is one. So it's like, if there's a discrepancy or something, okay, worst case, throw the SD card in the laptop, let's watch this back and then make a decision.
Yeah, I think in terms of the prelims, to film them and to have a point of reference, if ever there's somebody like who has cognitive bias or they forget or whatever, like having something to look at to make like the best decision possible for who to go through. I agree that it would be useful to have videos, because there's times that I know I've judged and I was like, I don't really remember that person.
You shouldn't be judging, bruv. You hear that? No one put Jenny on the judge list now, Jack.
Agreed.
Never again. Cancelled.
Cancelled. But for the tiebreaker, though, I feel like, you know, even if you watch, like, first of all, logistically, it would be even longer to do that than to just go another round.
But I also have a thing about making battles more of an event.
Yeah.
Like that would be cool for me as an audience. You know, if you see the people go, like, even imagine it was on a screen.
We're doing a timeout to review the battle.
I don't know. I think that would be
at
fun.
the same time, if there's a good battle and it's like it could swing either way because both people are doing so good, you just want to go until somebody dies, like not dies, but until somebody clearly wins.
So then bring back ties for the sake of ties.
Well, no, not ties for the sake of ties, but if there is a situation where it really is, you know, tied, then if you keep going, at some point there's a person who's gonna come out on top. I think usually those battles are good.
But then you, as the battler, you could be like, that's flipping unfair, bro, because I've got, like, let's say breaking, I've got sets and moves that I've got saved up for finals, and you're making me pull it all out now just because of this. Just go watch the tapes.
But you didn't do good enough to win, so whose fault is that really?
Ooh.
But I did do good enough. It's just you can't make your mind up. Ooh. Watch the tape.
Watch the tape.
I mean, I still I still think that judges should really avoid tying. You know.
Yeah.
So I do think that it's like, make up your mind, but in the case that there's like one indecisive person and then two people vote each way, like at some point that person in the middle is gonna swing one way or the other.
Okay, so to summarize, is that the word?
No.
To summarize, for the event logistics, for the flow, for the timekeeping, for ties during the event, we probably shouldn't resort to a tape like a basketball game. That might be excessive. Do you, Jen, Abe and Sean, do you accept that maybe the prelim thing could be something as a last resort backup?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I think whatever Coach Kev says on his Instagram stories, we're all going to be on there tonight.
Yeah, imagine if Kev puts this as like, for the Olympics, we're going to have a video playback, blah, blah. I'll be like, you motherfucker. All right. Well, all right. Fair enough. I love a good debate.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean. We love Sean.
Thanks, Shawnee.
Sean, come join us on the sofa, man.
All right,
you got to come next time.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, all right, shout me, man. I'm there.
We got to do it when there's like next time there's something that you think like, oh, I've got an opinion on this. Yeah, come through on the Monday.
About everything, man.
Oh yeah, true. As in, like Sean could just make an Insta.
You're gonna need a sofa shortlist soon, buddy. You got a lot of people that want to be on the show.
Well, not that many.
Yeah.
5. Well. All right. Can we get a round of applause for Sean?
People.
We love you, Sean.
Love you, Shawnee.
Big up.
Shout out to
Safe in a bit.
Sean.
Take it easy,
Catch
bro.
you soon, bro.
Peace
Bye.
out.
Bless, man.
Peace out.
It's a long episode.
It's a long episode.
It's a long
episode. All right. Well, Red Bull, Traplord,
Sean Lord.
Cool Sean,
Sean Lord.
Omni won 2 battles in a weekend.
Omni Lord.
Oy.
Easy. Oi, Omni's thumping man up. You see what?
Friday and Monday, so kind of a weekend. Long
Hey,
weekend.
Omni's thumping. You see Omni, yeah? He was like, Omni, I do TikToks, yay. And then he started doing weights outside and doing pull-ups, and now he's burning up competitions. That you, bruv. Shout outs to Omni though, because he lost to Slayer, and I think he was a little bit burnt by that.
Where?
At AIM Collective.
Okay.
Yeah, he lost to Slayer, and I think he was a bit like, I shouldn't have lost to Slayer. But I mean, I don't know, but
Question
I just get that feel.
Is it worse to lose to Slayer or me?
Did he lose to you as well?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he lost. Fuck yeah, no, he wants to bring up himself. He lost to Slayer and you, and was like, fuck,
which is worse.
I'll understand in a second. The point is, bruv.
I love it.
The thing is, we were talking about kids not being hungry enough and having that attitude of, I'm going to smoke you. Omni definitely has that attitude because he went and smoked 2 events, bruv.
Yeah.
You're doing it big, bruv.
Omni.
Yeah, no.
Put a sound. Put the blue button.
Omni.
Omni.
Come on down.
Do a different sound. Omni. Do a different one.
Omni won the competition.
That's the golf.
Yeah.
As he pulls up to the final hole,
Here comes Omni down the final stretch. He hits hard and does some robot noises.
He seems to be going for the approach where he's doing animation on the floor.
His do-rag fell off. That's extra point.
And the judges have voted that he's won.
Don't press it again. Oh.
He will progress through to the next round, where he will be facing...
Look, what's next?
What's next
The end?
is we eat this chocolate.
I think it's starting. Do you know that whole endurance thing that we were saying to Shawn? I think it's starting to kick in.
Whenever you're on the pod, the last section is always chaos.
The mental
We just talk
stamina
shit.
is gone.
It's gone, baby.
It's gone.
Why don't you jump on the sofa?
Oh, no, not at this point. If I wasn't on screen this whole time, I'm not going to get on screen
It's
in the
Barks.
last minute. You can't make me do it.
It's
Barks.
Don't know what it is.
Say it's Barks.
It's Porks. I don't know what I said. Is it inappropriate?
No.
Okay.
But that should be the title of the
Barks.
thing.
It's Porks.
No, we got the title, remember?
Yeah, whatever. Go on. What's
Oh.
next?
Do you want to see Slayer doing jive?
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah.
Me
Pretty
too.
good.
Me first.
But no, you're just going to show it to Abe.
Yeah, well,
This
if
is
you were on the
really
sofa, you would be able to see this.
Blah, blah, blah.
I'll just show you the beginning.
Javin, styling, rock wildin'. Oh, tell him.
Sing it, Janet.
She's got anxiety.
That's jive music.
Is he topless? Oh no, he's got. Oh, she's got a shirt. He's got a shirt. I was gonna say, Slayer, you're 14, but top on, my friend.
Has he got top on?
Yeah, yes, thankfully.
I don't know if this song is
Oh yeah,
copyright, but it's fair play, fair play.
Fair play.
We're making commentary,
We'll talk
we're
over the music.
I don't know. We'll see if it gets flagged.
Well done.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, you're
youngest
good, bro.
ever world champion.
But world in like worldwide. Like where
Yeah,
was
was
the
it a
competition?
worldwide competition or was it
Mr.
one of those?
Worldwide.
No, but you know. But
I didn't
where
expect that to make you laugh.
where was this?
Mr. Worldwide. What did I say about the last section when you're on the pod? What did you gonna say? It's in Blackpool.
Blackpool.
Yeah.
And it's Mr. Worldwide competition.
Yeah.
Well,
Fresh one.
Mr. Worldwide in Blackpool.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the World Championships I held in Blackpool. Some
Okay.
things I held there. They've got a
But-
big event space.
Yeah, I know, but do people really come from all over the world to Blackpool?
Probably. And then when they get there, they
Or
probably
is it
regret
mainly a UK thing, but they call it Mr. Worldwide?
That nobody calls him. I called it Mr. World.
I know, but
That is a valid question, though. There are some
don't know.
competitions that are like, it's the world. Like, we were
true.
like, yeah, we were ranked 25th in the world. 20 boxers, like, yeah, bro. Whatever,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Well done, sir.
He still did well. You know what? Did I tell you? Give me my phone back.
Okay.
Did I tell you? I said I made some joke about. No, I made some analogy where I was talking about on the AIM podcast. I was talking about like who you go to for advice. And I was like, yeah, well, like I was saying to the girls, like, yeah, well, I wouldn't like. ask someone like Slayer for business advice or something. Yeah. So like I forgot about what I said, and then like 3 weeks later he just messaged me going, "Hey bro, if you need any business advice, hit me up." And I didn't get it, and I just went, "Oh, thanks, man."
You never know who's listening.
And then I saw him at an event, and him and his mom were like, "Oh yeah, did you like you made a funny joke?" And I was like, "What? What do you mean?" And then they said it. I was like, "Oh, that's what." I was like, I did not get why he wanted to give me business advice.
You were just like, I talk so much shit that I don't remember everything.
No, bruv, that is hilarious.
This is a long fucking episode.
So basically, the moral of the story is Slayer and his mum are going to come for us now. Well, they're going to come for Jenny for sure.
Why?
Well,
because you were questioning his legitimacy for his championship.
And now you have to do jive battle.
Okay.
Slayer and his mum against Abe and Jenny.
I'm not scared.
Not me.
Yeah.
I'll go to Blackpool.
Blackpool. Why do you say it like that?
I don't know. I feel like people from there sound weird.
Do an accent. Do an accent as if you're from Blackpool.
Do a Blackpool accent.
Blackpool.
You can't just say
Say more than that.
Say more.
I'm from Blackpool.
Well, you're joining in the tradition of the last section of this podcast being absolute trash.
This is what I came here for.
Women!
And Slayer enters the jive competition.
But I have to watch more jive. I don't really know jive. It's very on the ball of your feet.
I don't know anything about jive.
What's the one that
Mr. Worldwide.
Ingra always wins with T-Boy?
That's hustle.
That's
what Jen
hustle.
did.
Do the hustle.
What's the difference between...
Do the hustle.
She's been waiting to be let loose this whole time. Like every time, like there's a little bit of breath. She's like, and then you start talking. She goes,
Yeah, because he told me you can come on, but don't interrupt me.
"Don't be silly. I'm the tyrant boyfriend." Gah!
The energy is a lot calmer when you're here, Tally.
What were you gonna say?
Mr. Worldwide.
You pushed that microphone.
You were gonna ask me a question.
Me?
No.
Me?
Yes. No.
He asked you about hustle.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
what
this
was it?
podcast
What's the
is
difference between?
trash.
Oh yeah, it was me. What's the difference? What's the
What's the difference between me and you? Because I'm Mr. Worldwide.
What's the difference between hustle and jive?
Well, I don't know because I don't know
I'm gonna
enough.
Google jive.
I don't know enough about jive to tell you what it is.
Jiving, driving, my car, my men, 10 of them, 62, need a video, need an SD card to re-evaluate the people that are coming through, but you shouldn't be a judge. That was Shawn.
Yeah.
And he completes some spoken word and does a great job of it. All the words rhymed and the audience really
Not all of
enjoyed
them
it.
rhymed. Not all of them.
Most of the words rhymed, and
But
as he enters the next
hustle,
phase of the competition,
hustle is. I think it's the only. It's the. If I'm not wrong, it's the only like American social dance, like couple social dance. All of the other ones come from other places in the world.
so you're saying Latin America doesn't count as America?
Yep. That's
You're wrong.
That's what I was trying to
You
get
are
to.
definitely not Mr. Worldwide.
I am Mr. Worldwide competition.
You in Blackpool.
Mr. Worldwide and Blackpool.
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 The L is silent.
Right. Well, I think that's a good time to put it to a head. I'm not even the host of the show, and I know that we've gone too far.
For too long.
Did we solve the Chris Rock controversy?
We did.
Cool.
Yes. Everybody should shave their head.
Did you see should shave their I thought you said hands. I was like, what?
Everyone should do that.
Zoe Kravitz got dragged on Twitter because she tried to
She's
speak a bit. No, she tried to speak about it, and then apparently like everyone had
Yeah, because she
receipts for it.
wasn't it like she put on her Instagram. I saw it was like, here's my dress at an award show where we apparently now go assault each other on stage.
Yeah.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then people were like, hey, what's up with you dating a 14-year-old dude?
Oh, they just came for about
like,
everything.
Apparently they had like receipts on standby, and they were just like
Okay, I'm
the
going to check
internet
that
is a wild place, which is why
You should have gone it.
you shouldn't talk about what you think on the internet because no one cares.
Oh, it's lucky that we just didn't do that for an hour and a half. And that's been the capsule, everyone.
It's almost 2 hours now.